This past February, I had a visit with a friend of mine who lives in Arizona. And the home is just around the corner from some beautiful hiking trails, and I had the opportunity to go hiking in the desert. And it is so beautiful as I think back on it. The desert is such a serene and peaceful place to walk. The winding trails all through the mountains, surrounded by these varieties of cactus, some that are hundreds of years old. And fortunately, really, at that time of year, this was back in February, it's cool enough so the snakes are still asleep. But as I stopped for a break, I thought, no wonder why Jesus loved to escape to the desert. And it's there that he found serenity and quiet time to pray. That image is such a contrast in today's gospel scene as we celebrate the last Sunday of our church year with the feast of Jesus Christ, the King of the universe. What we know is that outside the city walls of Jerusalem, on a hill shaped like a skull and the place where they executed criminals, Jesus is brutally enthroned as king from the cross. And as we heard in the scriptures, there is an inscription over the cross that even says, "This is the King of the Jews." We recall today this truth of our faith. The cross of Jesus can never be separated from his resurrection, and today the hope that we are given. You see, God's rescue mission to save the world was not finished yet. There was a criminal still hanging there, reaching out for hope to the King of Kings. And we're told that from below there are sneers and jeers thrown at Jesus. If you are the king, save yourself. He did not. He saves the thief, and he saves you and me. On the cross next to Jesus, there is one criminal who recognizes Jesus' authority as different from the one that had condemned them both. And he asks Jesus, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Friends, these beautiful scriptures remind us today that here is the conclusion of God's redemption story. You and I are wanted. You and I are cared for. We are loved by God. And it all comes together, oddly enough, in the cross of Jesus Christ. The cross, our hope, the man on the cross, our King, and the King, our future home. And so remember that in our times of suffering, loss, and sorrow, even in our times of fear and doubt, trust, we are cared for by God. And so today, as we celebrate this solemnity of Christ the King, may we find strength and hope in this story and the promise of Jesus. You will be with me one day in paradise.